Intense pressure from Donald Trump after his office determined there wasn't sufficient evidence to charge New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, a political rival of the president, with a crime. Eric Siebert told colleagues he was resigning in a letter sent Friday, NBC News reported. Hours earlier, Trump bluntly told reporters in the Oval Office, "I want him out." The president claimed he soured on Siebert because Virginia's 2 Democratic senators had endorsed his nomination, but also claimed that James is very guilty of something. ABC News reported earlier on Friday that Trump decided to fire Siebert after he failed to obtain an indictment against James. Donald Trump signed a proclamation on Friday that would impose an annual $100,000 fee on H-1B visa applications, dealing a potentially major blow to the U.S. tech industry, which relies heavily on workers from India and China. The U.S. Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, said at a Friday press briefing that all the big companies had been briefed on the new fee. The Trump administration asked the U.S. Supreme Court on Friday to intervene for the second time in a case involving its bid to end deportation. Protections the former president, Joe Biden, granted to hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans in the United States. The Justice Department filed an emergency application asking the justices to lift a federal judge's ruling that the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem lacked the authority to end the protections for Venezuelans under the Temporary Protected Status, or TPS program. Donald Trump announced on Friday that the U.S. military had carried out another deadly strike on a vessel in the Caribbean, killing 3 men on board the vessel whom Trump alleged had been trafficking illicit narcotics. "On my orders," Trump wrote in a social media post shared by the White House and Defense Secretary. The Secretary of War ordered a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel affiliated with a designated terrorist organization conducting narcotrafficking, the USouthCom area of responsibility. The acting Inspector General of the Department of Education, Heidi Seaman, said that her office would be launching an investigation into the department's handling of sensitive data. It comes after several Democratic lawmakers led by the Senator Elizabeth Warren wrote to the department's watchdog, asking her to review the so-called Department of Government Efficiency's infiltration of the Education Department. The House passed a stopgap funding bill, written by Republicans to stave off a government shutdown, only for Democrats to reject it in the Senate. In kind, GOP lawmakers blocked a Democratic version of the bill. Funding expires at the end of September, and with congressional lawmakers on recess next week, the threat of a shutdown is perilously close. In response, legislators from both sides of the aisle spent the day shirking blame and claiming the other party would be responsible for a shutdown on the 1st of October. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said, "Democrats are yielding to the desires of their rabidly leftist base and are attempting to hold government funding hostage to a long list of partisan demands." His counterpart, Chuck Schumer, said that Republicans want the shutdown to happen. They're in the majority. They don't negotiate, they cause the shutdown. Plain and simple, he said.